Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to what is more than likely the last episode of the Stanley Parable. I didn't get my timer set up beforehand, so give me a moment. There we go, okay. Got that going. There are 3 endings for me to do. And we're not even gonna get to a set of 2 open doors, where Stanley enters the one on his left. Nope. Annoying thing it. Oh. During breakfast today, some milk went down the wrong pipe. Also, Mother's Day, I did cook breakfast for my mom with the help of my sister and my dad. We made glop. For those of you who don't know, glop is basically mushed up bread in like goo form that you add sugar, cinnamon, and butter to. It's pretty good. The way I described it there probably made it sound a little gross. I don't know, but it's pretty good. Yeah, Sorry, I had to clear my throat there. Oh, the homework debacle I talked about in the Portal 2 video. Yeah, I ended up figuring that out by doing the algebra assignment that day as well. And then today I can do Japanese assignment. It's not due immediately, and I'm only 1 day ahead of when things are due, which I'm not particularly a fan of. And I have a good bit of free time anyways, so unless I'm particularly like, no, I'm just gonna do homework with free time later. And if I have some friends who come online, then, I'll gladly abandon homework to play with them, unless I haven't gotten any assignments done yet. I'm curious about the Japanese assignment because it involves cooking something or making something somehow, and I don't know if that's actually going to be possible. It's like, okay, we don't need to see this. I showed you all that the first time around. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
It meant I needed
Stanley
to climb
decided
on this
to
chair.
go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Oh, there we go. Got it that time. Okay, here we go, everyone. Whee!
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
This is just an audio loop now. Okay. Yeah, I have to restart that one manually. I thought I had to exit the game, which I don't. That's nice. So now we're going to do that again and hit no. And then there's one more ending.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I didn't miss crap. I'm going out this window. Yeah,
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in?
No, I'm gonna let you all
Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet? Ah, then in that case, we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Alright, I'm back everyone. While I was gone, I actually remembered another ending. So, we have two more endings to do. Oh, this next one, it's got a lot of technical precision. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to pull this off first try. Are you ready for this?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Alright. Are you ready for the last ending, everyone? This is actually a hidden ending. Huh? Hello?
But Stanley simply couldn't handle
I was
the
not
pressure.
looking at the door.
What if he had to make a decision?
Hello?
What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy.
We're not
Stanley
watching this again. Okay. Begin the game again. Is it here? No, what? It won't open. Hello?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Well, there's supposed to be an ending if you pull up the server console and type in SV Cheats 1, but I can't pull it up for some reason. Hell the heck up. We're looking at the Steam community right now, that's what I'm doing. Okay, wait. Well, I don't seem to be able to find the guide I'm looking for. I did only look through about 5 titles and didn't bother reading any of them, but I'm too lazy to put in more effort than that. Is it here? Okay, that's fun. Yeah, that's that then. I need a way to occupy the remaining 3 minutes of this video. Screen capture? Nope, my computer settings aren't right for that one. Hold on. Hey, my Windows is up today. Cool. Yeah, not system default. No, why would it ever be system default? Power saving, yes. That doesn't seem to do it. Something I've realized is I may not be able to change this, like, mid-recording in a way. Uh-oh. Yes, add. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Yeah, I can't seem to get the display capture working mid-recording, which, is interesting. Don't know what to do now. Have about a minute left. You know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna, I'll just talk to you all. Yeah, I can do that. I can do my outro. So, and I'll start my timer early. So leave a like if you enjoyed the video in the comments down below. Tell me any general ways I can improve, and tell me what series to start now that Stanley Parable is over. I'm gonna see about doing Bed Wars some more. I think that might be able to work again since Portal 2 is still working, but I'm not sure. But otherwise, it is good to have a backup plan, and that comes from you, the viewer, because I don't want to record something that you aren't interested in seeing. That would just be stupid. Where was I? Right. Did I say subscribe if you're new to the channel and you want to see more? I think I said that. Ring the bell icon if you're newly subscribed and you want notifications when I come out with new videos. And that's that. Stop recording.